In the summer of 2024, we sailed Amalfi coast and the Bay of Napoli. Baby.
Highway Capri!
Capri! Woohoo!
Capri!
In total 7 days and 8 nights, we sailed to 3 islands, Procida, Ischia, and Capri, and 2 towns in Amalfi coast, Positano and Amalfi. There are many anchorages worth visiting in Bay of Napoli and Amalfi coast. In 7 days, we used 1 marina and anchored a total 9 times in 8 different anchorages. Maybe? Do you like this place?
Yes. So excited to be here.
This video is all about our 7-day itinerary of sailing Amalfi coast and the Bay of Napoli. Our journey started and ended in the island of Procida. We stayed on the island of Procida the night before boarding the catamaran, in a very nice boutique hotel called Vento di Mare, which is only located a couple minutes away from Marina di Procida. We also spent the last night on board before leaving the island. We had plenty of time to explore the whole island, and many opportunities to visit local stores and taste local food. Can I have a sparkling water? We tried many different food on this island. I have to say they taste really good. Procida is small compared to other islands in the area, but it's totally worth it. We left Marina di Procida around 3 p.m. in the afternoon. Our overnight anchorage is next to Castello di Aragonese, just 6 miles away. There was not much wind, but we couldn't care less. We can't wait to raise the sail and start our journey. In the meantime, we use this chance to familiarize ourselves with the boat and get our sea legs back. The head sail is 110% genuine. I furred it a little bit in order for me to see every direction on the water without leaving the helm station. It was no surprise this sacrificed a lot of pointing and speed. Eventually I gave up and unfurled everything, but it was too late since the wind had all but diminished. Castello di Aragonese anchorage is truly amazing, even better than I thought. There was not much more we could ask after we set the anchor next to this 600 years old castle. The night was very quiet and peaceful. We were in a location we can see both sunset and sunrise shining on the castle.
From San Francisco to East Kia. Hi, good morning everyone.
However, do not be mistaken, this serenity will continue into the daytime. This place is popular to visitors, but even more popular to locals who come here to spend their summer weekends. By the time of 11 a.m. in a Sunday morning, this place was like a wash machine. Small boats came and went, left and right. During summertime, this is a common scenario in popular places in Bay of Napoli and Amalfi coast. By the time we reached Capri, we were quite used to this and actually enjoyed it. There is no official dinghy dock in this anchorage. After taking the dinghy to the shore, we tied it on the rocks. Perfect. Some people left their dinghies on the other side of the castle, through this little stone bridge. We had a good time visiting castle, walking around, just having a chill afternoon. In the late afternoon, we raised our anchor and sailed to our next overnight anchorage, a small town called Lago Ameno, on the north side of Ischia. Lago Ameno is one of the smallest towns in Ischia, located at the feet of Mount Apomeo. Cannon fires and church bells, just a moment after we set our anchor. We were still not sure what's the occasion even after extensive Google search, but this certainly added a great flavor to our stay. On day 3, we waked up early and watched sunrise. Today we left Ischia and sailed 30 miles to Capri, but before saying goodbye, we stopped at one more place. A very nice hot spring cove, where hot spring water meets the cold seawater, just next to the town of Sant'Angelo.
the.
Be careful. It's hot in there.
Yeah.
That's
It's
really
really,
hard.
it's really hot.
Slippery and hot. Very hot. Okay, come. Over there. Yeah.
Oh, here.
Oh, here. Yeah. Okay.
It's like 55 degrees over there.
Yeah.
Just like any good places, after 11 a.m., this place started to get crowded. This was our cue to leave for Capri. In order to have a good sailing trip in the Bay of Napoli and Amalfi coast, the order of visiting each different places is actually dictated by the weather, since in most days in the summertime, the bay is very calm with little wind. We specifically picked this day to sail across the bay to Capri with about 8 to 10 knots of wind behind our back. It was not much, but certainly the best in the first 5 days. A nice little downwind trip led us to our next overnight anchorage in Capri, just next to the legendary Philosophie. Upon arriving at Capri, we were greeted by a group of harbor porpoises. We like to call them small dolphins. We didn't anchor immediately, instead we sailed around Philosophie for a little bit, before carefully picking our anchoring spot for the following 2 nights. Capri has many places to visit on the coastline. Many attractions can be easily accessed by DE, including the legendary Philosophie. And many grottos. That's exactly what we did. It's a little bit tricky if you want to go into town since there is no official dinghy dock, and we couldn't leave the dinghy on the shore either. In order to get into the town by dinghy, we have to leave one behind. So we took another approach by taking the ferry from Positano or Salerno. Between 11 a.m. and 5 p.m., hundreds of small boats came in and went out. We had mentally prepared for this since our days in Ischia. More than a dozen super yachts also anchored nearby, with one more than 400 feet. It was very dynamic. We had a great time swimming around, with everyone surrounding us having a great time too. After spending 2 nights in Capri, we reached our anchor again. Our next stop is Positano in Amalfi coast. The southeast side of Capri definitely has one of the most amazing coastlines between Far Leone and Ponta del Monaco. It's about 15 miles from Capri to Positano, the famous vertical town in Amalfi coast. There was very little wind, so we had to motor all the way. Sailing into Positano is not something we will forget anytime soon. It's now easy to find a good anchoring spot. We were lucky to be able to anchor in front of a small public beach, with the front row to this world-famous scenery. In Positano, there is a designated part of the beach for us to leave the dinghy on the shore, which is very convenient. Positano is a town nobody wants to miss when visiting Amalfi coast, so it was very crowded. This is also the place you could take the ferry to Capri if you want to explore the town, not just the coastline. There are lots of stores in Positano. Katie surely didn't miss her chance. If you ever have a chance to explore Positano in the early morning like we did, it's not hard to notice why it's so amazing. In the peak of summertime, this town never sleeps.
Positano.
In the morning of day 6, We had this beautiful small beach all to ourselves. Day 6 was an action-packed day. We sailed to Amalfi first. The town of Amalfi is full of astonishing architectures, from Anatara Convento di Amalfi Grand Hotel to Duomo di Amalfi. Wow. After a short stay in Amalfi, we started to sail back to Capri for the overnight. In between, we stopped at the Grotto do Apatoso. We saw a bunch of boats and decided to stop. It turned out to be a very nice place. After a very late lunch, we sailed back to Capri for the overnight anchoring. For the night of day 6, we anchored beneath one of the most beautiful cliffs in Capri, next to Farlione di Matermania, just a couple hundred feet away from Grotto Bianca. Wind started to pick up later in the day. It's time to do some real sailing. Day 7, we waked up early and were greeted by a sunrise, like a painting. We raised sail again. This time we sailed through the gap between legendary Farallone di Capri. We said goodbye to Capri and sailed back to Partita. We anchored in Marina di Coricella and had a late lunch before returning the boat to Marina di Partita. Marina di Caricella is such a perfect place. We started our journey here 6 days ago. Now we ended here with a perfect note. After refueling the boat and returning it to the base, this officially concluded our 7-day sailing trip of Amalfi coast and the Bay of Napoli. Of course, we stayed one more night on board before taking the ferry the next morning. This gave us plenty of time to walk around town, visit local stores, and taste local food one more time before saying our goodbye.